I need to get all of the documents that I can on the verdict when, like, I don't even, yeah, I could get it, so I just have to say this while I'm thinking about it. The verdict of my arrest 11 years ago was that I was found not guilty by reason of insanity and was taken to Patton State Mental Hospital, where 6 years later, a forensic psychiatrist came in and interviewed me and felt that I was perfectly fine, perfectly sane, and that I should be, and he made sure I was discharged with no program or no, under nobody's orders, just simply out, and I can do whatever I want, which was great. And I want to say that of course, I appreciate the verdict. I appreciate that very much, that I was found not guilty and that I didn't have to go to prison. I went to a hospital, and that's all great. The thing is that I'm being found not guilty by reason of insanity, and I'm still wearing a label that says that I'm insane. The only thing is that needs to still be proven. So it needs to be proven that I was insane at the time, and because I still am getting backlash from John Ford, as he mentions the crime. He mentioned it to me. I have it on recording where he said that I tried to burn the building down, when we both know that that's not true. John Ford knows exactly why I did what I did, and he knows that I was not going to burn the building or harm anyone or anything like that. He knows that I was there to force the police department in, and the fire department, whatever, on a rescue mission. Well, and he knows this. And he knows nobody was going to get hurt or anything like that. He knows I'm not dangerous. He's full of shit. And he still wants to bullshit and hold shit against me. And which of course, I mean, there is a record of, with the verdict of the not guilty verdict, and yet it shows the crime of attempted arson. Now so that's a document that I got at the courthouse, which means that there's a record and there's not supposed to be one. Okay, you're not supposed to have that when there's not supposed to be a record stating attempted arson if you're found not guilty by reason of insanity. It's something that is supposed to be documented and only held by the mental health and deeper in with the police, but not something that shows a public record that could affect my life on an attempted arson charge. So, but it's there. The public can get it, and I'm not having a real big issue with it, but it's getting in the way of justice. So that in itself is an obstruction of justice, and it's giving John Ford this bullshit that he's using against me. Meanwhile, I'm wearing a label that I'm still insane because I am still wanting or insisting that these witness victims are actually still actively surviving, and that they're still in there, and I feel that I can prove it. And so before I go any further in me trying to prove it, I'm very, very, very calmly and very rationally asking John to prove to me and to whoever's with me recording it that I am insane, because I don't believe I am. So prove to me by having me with witness, with law enforcement present. It's not a big deal. Police should come for their protection and for my protection, right? Shouldn't be a big deal. But be there to make sure that which it takes 30 seconds, have seen the inside of the apartment and can agree that, okay, I've been insane to believe what I believe, but now you showed me that what I believe is in fact not happening. And, well, he refuses to do that. And that's keeping me, well, what shouldn't be considered insane, it's when that hasn't been proven, right? And nobody could actually say I'm insane to believe something that is so easy to show me that it's not. So if they show me that it's not, I tell whoever witnesses that I am shown, thank you, it's like being cured from a deadly fatal disease, that I could stop bothering people, my family, stop bothering anybody with it, and stop worrying about it myself, of course. And this is something that John Ford refuses to let happen. And I'm not going anywhere near that building without protection and witnesses because of a real threat that came to me. I was told that next time I'm in that neighborhood or there at the, because I've been making frequent visits over there, that they're going to burn the building down, and they're all going to, whoever, they, whatever, all tenants, I don't know, going to agree that they saw me lighting the place on fire. Whatever it is, that they're going to blame me, and they have witnesses. That's what I was told. They're all going to be witnesses, and they're going to blame me for this fire that is somewhat easy to believe because, and they stated this as well, that the victims that are indeed in there, like I believe, and that there are hundreds of people in Los Angeles alone who want the building burned down because these victim witnesses can really get more locations revealed and a whole bunch of people arrested. So these, and it's true, and these people would be pretty pissed off, and they're already pissed off. They want to burn the place down, but they need somebody that they can blame. And they said that once done in the neighborhood, they'll have that. So they're waiting for me to do that. Meanwhile, if they, I don't want that to happen. If they did, there still would be a pile of a lot of people. Forensic science would be able to tell if these people were struggling to get out of a room, they couldn't, and they were burned alive and whatnot. But I want them alive. I don't need that, okay? And then they want to blame me. It's really pretty insane. Well, I'm not insane. But so anyway, I feel that I need to get the documents. I need to find it. I need to be able to. I don't know who the judge was, and who was the really nice DA that decided on this to get this insanity. She must have really saw with my public defender on my website and everything that was said to really. She smiled. It was really sweet. I remember her smiling when I came in for the verdict. The DA it's amazing that the DA seemed to really like me, and it was beautiful. But I didn't document the judge's name. I'm pretty sure. I think it was a woman, and she was pretty nice as well. And I'm not pressing charges or anything like that. What I want is to get in touch with the judge and the DA, if possible, just to ask them if they could support that verdict based on the fact that I still believe that what I believe was in there was never proven to me. We'll get into that. So the thing is that I believe that I can get the charges going right away, immediately, on John Ford for not producing to me evidence of me being dangerous or me being insane on any of it. He needs to produce and produce fast his claims left and right. He's claiming, I have it on tape, and he's telling other people that I tried to burn a building down when he knows I didn't, and he's also feeling that I'm crazy because I think something's in there and all this other garbage. Well, it shouldn't be too hard to be friendly enough. You just take 30 seconds of just showing me that what I believe is in there isn't in there. And it's just one apartment, one time in my whole life, and I will never bother anybody with it again. Why is it this big, gigantic ordeal with him claiming everything from they're entitled to their privacy? Yeah, of course. There's this, there's that. I mean, it's real. And here's the thing: it's my first time ever talking to John Ford was 6 months before I took the law into my own hands. Is I called to speak with the manager prior to him, Jim Duane. When I called and asked for Jim Duane, I called Scott Properties from the location to speak with Jim Duane, and it was John Ford who told me Jim Duane was deceased. So I said, I'm sorry to hear that. The thing is that Jim told me, and this is the truth, Jim told me before back in 2006, which is exactly 20 years ago, I was going to go back to Florida, and I did, and I asked him if and when the tenants of 201 happen to move out and the place is vacant between tenants, if he would mind giving me a call in Florida, and I will immediately get a plane ticket just to fly out, just so I can get some kind of calmness in my heart and soul, so I can just walk through there and just breathe, because just take a look from corner to corner, just for that, just to see it empty and breathe and feel it empty. So I put it behind me, and he agreed. Sure, I could do that. I'll give you a call if that ever happens. And Well, when I came back and moved back out here after, I was even visiting on my own when I got vacation. I was with Hertz Car Rental at the Fort Lauderdale Airport for 6 years. And every time I got vacation time and where I had some money saved up, I used that vacation time and the money to fly out here to, I'm in California now, and just take a look at the place. And one time I went around the flyers to the neighborhood. Nothing got done, but anyway, so I moved back, and so I told John Ford on the phone that Jim Dwayne had promised me that, and I could see that there's different stuff in the patio and different cars in the parking garage, and it looks to be that that are different tenants. And so I asked John if he could work something out with the tenants and get an agreement and a time to just fulfill that promise or fulfill my need to just get through there. And he said to me, well, how do I know that if you go in and you see that there's nothing in there, that you're not going to leave still thinking that there is something in there? And I was like, man, that is the most irrational and strange insult to my intelligence. I wish I had got that on record, because that's absurd. Nobody would say something like that. And no, it's all the way to the point. I didn't get it on recording, so nobody's going to believe it, right? Well, recently, and actually it's 2 years ago now. No, it's one. I don't know. I have this on record. I got this on record. I called him and I recorded the call, and I have it on somewhere around the 5th video on this probable cause site. Where actually it's within the first video. It's a comical video. That's where my head was at the time. And where I told him I need to go through there. Just, can you please do it, John? I just need to clear my mind. And his response was, it won't clear your mind. And that is just way out there. And I got that on recording. So it's similar to the other thing that he said, and that's enough to. It's just crazy. Okay, so so the thing is that I need for him, since I carry an insane label, for him to prove that I'm insane. That shouldn't be too difficult. And it's an obligation, okay? It's just a 2-bedroom apartment. He doesn't need to be all spastic about privacy. They shouldn't be worried about it. I'm not opening drawers. I'm not looking under beds. It's a 15-second walkthrough with doors open, so I can see that it's not in there. And he's making a big deal out of it. And all it is a way for him to prove that I'm insane. So I can don't have to carry on now, because I'm a forensic psychiatrist that let me out of patent believes that I am not insane. I don't remember who he is. I mean, that was 5 years ago, but I'm out, but I'm still wearing the label from John. And the thing is that there's not going to be double jeopardy. He can't say, okay, so now he's not insane, which means he's got to go to court where he can be tried again for what he did. So instead of being insane, he could go to prison. I mean, that's ridiculous. Okay, nobody was hurt. There was no property damage, and he knows damn well that there was no. Thank God for my website, because my website is the thing that the DA could see that proof of why I did what I did, and the DA, she's a really nice woman. She felt really confident about that decision, and so did the judge, that it was done to try to rescue people, but they feel that it was insane for me to believe that there's people that need rescuing. So that still needs to be taken care of. So all I'm asking him to do is simply prove that I was insane at the time. And if there's I'll agree, I was insane at the time. Whatever it is that here I am feeling like I have to somehow turn the flat world upside down, to shake everything out of it just to get in a stupid fucking 2-bedroom apartment. But we all know the world is round, and that I can't turn over a flat world and shake. I mean, I have to be a little sarcastic here to get any listeners or anybody hearing this to understand how obnoxious he's being, not me. And anybody that agrees with him is seriously, ridiculously obnoxious, because it's just a quick little, I'm not dangerous, I'm not snooping, nothing. Just want to be proven. And then on a contract, whatever it is, I'll never mention that address again. I'll never come anywhere near that neighborhood. It will be forgotten. My family doesn't have to deal with it. I don't have to make a fool of myself on Facebook, tell it to where I'm like freaking out all the time on that. Nobody will show any support towards the rescue mission. So I'm embarrassing myself. I just want to be able to move the fuck on with my life. And he won't let that happen. And he's got a million fucking excuses. So anybody that's taken that tries to ever tell me that they don't see my point, that I should just forget about it. It's like, hey, listen, I disagree, and I could forget about it in 30 seconds of a walkthrough, and that needs to be done because I believe it's in there, and you're not seeing the fucking reality of the resistance. If anybody fucking agrees with him and that I'm being irrational, I don't know what the fuck for. When you should be skeptic and you should be thinking, I'm starting to fucking take Rob's side because I don't see why he can't just, people should start questioning if what I believe is in there is possibly in there, because it shouldn't be so fucking hard to prove me wrong. So what the fuck am I dealing with? Because so far, everybody is retarded except for me. And the real fucked up part of it is this, is that, and I keep repeating this line, I repeat it to law enforcement, from the highest authorities down to, somebody who, I don't know, just my family members, whatever, okay, is this. You're doubting me about there being victims. See, and the funny thing is, it's all of this that I'm trying to do is not even about me. It's me caring about other people. That's why, like, the one recording you'll hear on 20 years ago, and I heard this a lot from detectives to cops repeatedly. You'll hear in one of these recordings where a detective says to me, there's nothing I can do for you. And I said, I don't want you to do anything for me. I want you to do something for the victims that I'm telling you about. And I hear it all the time. There's nothing we can do for you. And seriously, this isn't really about me right now. Prove to me when it comes to me. But meanwhile, clearly, I'm not even about myself. I'm trying to get people saved. Regardless of your fucking opinions about me being crazy, at least I'm not being selfish. And the thing is that I'm going to end this recording with the thing that I've said repeatedly, and then I'm going to have to stop this recording because it's getting too long. But here it is. If you're doubting me, then have some humanity and give the benefit of the doubt to the victims, or the benefit of the doubt to the possibility. I mean, it is possible. So yeah, you don't want to say it's impossible because, hey, it shouldn't be too hard to prove, right? So I don't know how many people listening to this understand what that means, the benefit of the doubt. You've all have heard that term. So either you're a scumbag or you're a human being with a heart that represents humanity. And with that, it's very simple. If you doubt me, and remember, people know that. You hear it all the time. Truth is stranger than fiction. People use that term too. And so knowing that there are things like this in the world, knowing that truth is stranger than fiction, knowing that I'm not going to stop at anything, even though I'm not dangerous, is to remember this, okay? Be a human. Give the benefit of the doubt